Namaste Jiva Avinandate. Mama Pratata Varnika Jiva Samasti. Hello, human. I'm a phantom with the face of a human. Or the mask of a human. Katha, story. Kavya, poetry. Pratana, legend. Poetry often feeds into Pratana, often feeds into legend. After all, Beowulf, it's an epic poem. It is itself Kavya Pratana. It's a poem legend. Katha, story. We all have stories. Sometimes Katha become Nagara Puratana, city legends or urban myths. There are the legends that still live, in terms of they are still being told, such as Sabin Puratana. In a very real way, all the movies that currently play, Marvel, DC, they're Sabin Puratana. They're a living legend. They're a legend that still lives because they're still living, they're still evolving, they're still being built upon. But those are Uttaraha Puratana. Those are, our highest legends. Those are the ones that we all know. But we each have our own. Interesting thing. Every Jiva has their own legend. Admittedly, some of it's in our own heads. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you are full of garba because you have a thorough understanding of your own history. Because essentially, that's what the Tritiya Sthanika of Chalita is basically about. It's about the Sita Paratana of an individual Jiva. It's about like the legend of their spirit. Usually, it's quiet, it's silent, it's inside. Because everyone's own living history, their own living legend, their own seven katha, their own living story, is always going on. It's always evolving from one day to the next. It's a pretty neat illusion that way. Interesting thing though, if you recall earlier, there's Pisanata, or slander. There's also Uma, a reputation. Now both of these can affect the Paratana. Although, the Uma, if it is based in Pisanata, will be weak, and will almost certainly, eventually, almost naturally, Kathy Karoti, reduce itself to a mere tail, no longer affects Paratana. So, Uma, reputation, Paratana, legend. These are both social constructs. These are things that, individually interact with how we interact with those around us, especially on the level of dream. In a very real way, this is part of my Southern Paratana. Does that mean I'm a living legend? No, 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 no. However, in a very real way, everyone who still lives, as they are Savan Chalita, They are also Southern Puritana. Hmm. On that note, there are 8.1 billion Jalajiva, give or take, on Priyadata. 8.1 billion living humans on Earth. Now, strictly speaking, and you are free to disagree, but by my understanding, which has the capacity to fail, that means there are 8.1 billion Sabanjalita Avatara. And by default, that would actually have to mean there are 8.1 billion Saban Paratama. Wouldn't that be neat? 8.1 billion living legends. We could have like a Nava Kala Paratana. We could have like a new age of legends and stuff. That'd be neat. Everyone has something that they find pride in. And I don't mean Garba. I mean something that they just, if you, Jiva, were to say, I really have to pick out something of my life that I find that I've done that is legendary? Are you serious? Are you serious? Might be easier than you think. Grandmother always makes time for her the grandkids. Father who lifts up his daughter and like flies her around in the air so she can be Supergirl. Yeah, they're Parimaga. They're small moments, little pieces of time. But that little girl, those grandkids, that father, that grandmother, in that moment, it's like a living legend. And maybe that way, 8.1 billion living legends isn't that hard to find. But who knows? I'm just a Merca Pratada, Vanika Jiva. But on that note, what about you, Jiva? You have Saban Paratana. You have living legend within. Because we all do. Just kind of how it is. What would you, for yourself, be your most important moment of Saban Paratana? You can share if you'd like. But really, it's more important to me that you find it for yourself than for you to say to me what it is. Because after all, it's your Saban Paratana, not mine.